hello everyone. Welcome to February 2025 predictions for all signs using Vedic astrology. If you're new to my channel, of course, great to have you on board. Sub below, and if the video is helpful, you could give it a thumbs up and share it around as well. Let's go. Let's look at the key astrological factors, and don't forget, of course, to check out the predictions for the whole of 2025 after this video. The link is below, and I will put it at the end as well. Now, Jupiter turns direct this month on the 4th of Feb. This is good. He rules fortune in our life, and Rahu conjuncts Venus. This is a really interesting combination. Rahu, smoke and illusion, Venus, love and romance. It's going to affect some signs very strongly, as we shall see. Mercury combusts with the sun, though. This is interesting, though. Could give business opportunities. Very important for students on the 10th of Feb. And the emotional full moon this time happens on the 12th in the sign of Cancer. This is about domestic situation. Everybody becomes very concerned about security around this time. The sun enters into Aquarius, a weak place for the sun materially, but a strong spiritually, because this has a deep spiritual significance. 13th of Feb, some signs benefit, other signs go into a state of confusion. We shall see about this. And Mangala goes direct in Gemini, 24th of Feb. He's had a long retrograde transit. Now he's going to go forward for a long time. This impacts everybody in a huge way. Check the video on my channel, Mangala Transit, Gemini Cancer. The link is below. And it's seminal in war situations in the world, most definitely. Mercury conjunct Saturn in Aquarius, 25th, 26th. Business decisions. Students make huge decisions around this time. And the new moon affects everybody, 28th of Feb in Aquarius. A new beginning is happening in some area of your life. Let's see. How to use a reading from your Vedic moon and ascendant sign, sidereal horoscope, not tropical Western. Check the link below to a website, Devaguru. Put in your birthday to bring up your moon and ascendant. One special factor, though, in these readings. After every reading, I include a daily tracker, but this is only to be seen from the moon sign, giving you the up and down days for the month. Let's begin. For Aries moon and Aries ascendant both, what a month for you. This is a really fantastic month. Make the most of all the opportunities. It is truly tremendous. A special factors happening for Aries moon and ascendant. You know, Jupiter is in the house ahead of your sign and Venus behind. Can you see this? This is called a Suptakatari Yoga, protecting Aries moon and ascendant during this time. How fantastic is that? The theme for this month is income, career, financial situations coming up, opportunities opening, promotions, some of you changing your job. And it all started actually at the end of January when there was a new moon in your 10th house. Check my January prediction video, but we can see that you are moving ahead into a whole new area in your career. Something is shifting. Your ambitions are changing dramatically. It's good. The Guru, Lord of your fortune, goes direct now in the 2nd house of your finances. Business people, things open up. Complications become less, and slowly but surely, financial fortunes coming to Aries moon and ascendant. Of course, the interesting combination is Venus, Lord of your spouse, relationships, and Rahu, conjuncting in the secretive 12th house on the 4th of February. What does this mean? Two things. You're becoming a little bit secretive about romantic affairs, relationships, particularly if you are single. You might have a mega attraction happening, potentially when you are traveling foreign land, or maybe the internet could be such a place where you could meet romantic potential, definitely. But it's secretive and it's unusual. Rahu is smoke and illusion. Things are not what they seem. Be cautious. Get to know people slowly. It's really important when Venus conjuncts Rahu. Don't let stresses, anxiety come between you and your spouse, partner now. There's a little bit of anxiety about expenditure, difficulty. You could even have to spend a little bit of time apart for some reason. Venus, Rahu shows openness. Honesty is absolutely needed. And then things will be perfectly okay. With your business partner or in business situations, watch out for a little bit of smoke and illusion there. Make sure everything is honest between you. Everything is going above board. But generally, though, Venus Rahu could show a very unusual, unexpected business opportunity for long-term profit. Some of you near the beginning of the month. In the middle of the month, around the 12th, full moon, 4th house, you've got to settle some domestic situation. It needs to be sorted. Full moon says can't continue just holding on. Domestic changes have to happen. The most powerful factor is that your Lord Mongala is in a powerful house, third house, giving profit, communication skill, beating all of the competition right, left and center, especially after 24th when he goes direct. Powerful communication, but don't get into petty arguments, particularly 25th with your work colleagues, siblings. It could potentially happen. Finally, new moon happening in the 11th house, super favorable. Sun, 11th house gives you clarity about your future. If you started this month uncertain about your future, changes in the workplace, environment, etc. show you there is a definite new way forward. And from the moon only Aries, check the up days and the down days shown here. Plan ahead carefully. For Taurus, Moon and Ascendant, you're going to be feeling much more confident this month. Things are moving on strongly for you, and big changes in your job, career situation open up doors for you. But it can be stressful because there's a lot happening in this 10th house. Stress to get things done is actually increasing. It's a fantastic month for students. Anybody in any educational situation, Guru goes direct in your first house. You're on top of this learning. You're feeling much more optimistic, much more confident now. The big event this month, though, is that your Lord Venus, Shukra, is conjuncting Rahu, the north node of the moon, on the 4th. And this means at the beginning of the month, there's going to be very interesting opportunities coming for Taurus, Moon and Ascendant. There could be opportunities for business people for new ventures, profitable future ventures, but it's not clear because Rahu is a bit of smoke and illusion. But because he is good for Taurus, look into these seriously. For all Taurians, whatever you do for a living, Venus Rahu is financially favorable. It shows news of money coming your way, perhaps surprisingly, perhaps doors are opening. Promotion, even surprising promotion, opportunities. Rahu means something unexpected coming perhaps, but definitely it's financially beneficial at the beginning of the month. Opportunities are there for all Taurus, Moon and Ascendant because the 11th house is a very favorable placement for this conjunction. Surprising information could be coming through your friendship network circles, elder siblings even, or siblings generally. And definitely you're thrown a little bit off key by this, but it can be favorable for you. So things are shaking up friendship-wise, family-wise, work-wise. There's a lot of change, but it's ultimately favorable because the 11th house opens up the door for new opportunities. Romantically, of course, it's definitely going to happen. If you are seeking romantic opportunity now, look within friendship circle for that. Once again, it'll be unexpected. There is a little bit of a danger point though, particularly financially if you get into speculative venture, because Venus, Rahu is 5th house lord, can tempt you into wasteful speculation, and Mongala, 2nd house, increases this. So be careful about that. And Mongala, 2nd house, watch your speech. You're just shooting from the hip virtually now, and this can cause you quarrels, contentions, family circle, with your kids. Calm it all down with your speech, or you could potentially say something which you regret. Now, at the end of the month, those big changes happen career-wise. Doors open. You get a whole new potential about future. Mercury, Saturn says potentially difficulties with boss superior, though, at the end of the month. be careful. And this Mercury Saturn could affect students as well, where you become a little bit doubtful about the education course, difficulties with your teachers, lecturers. Take everything with a little pinch of salt. Things are good for you education-wise. Take it slow. And from Taurus Moon only, of course, here are the up days for you and the more challenging days. Take a note of these for your diary. It's a really active month for Gemini Moon, Gemini Ascendant, because Mongola's going direct now, your sign, from the end of the month, but is speeding you forward generally all of February. There's many changes happening. Some of you traveling a lot as well, foreign lands, which is extremely favorable for you. Spiritually, mentally, foreign travel is stimulating. Any travel is good for you during February 2025. If your spouse or partner, which is represented by Guru in your chart, has been having health issues, they will improve. Your health as well improves after the 4th of February. Fast intervention helps you deal with any niggling problems. Conjunction of Venus Rahu happening in the 10th house of your chart. Something unexpected, perhaps secret information. Venus is your 12th house lord, happens in the workplace. You're surprised by this, but it gives you real insight into a difficult work situation. Now, with this information, you can definitely plan ahead. The full moon 12th means that family situations become a little emotional tense. Don't get yourself into arguments. Mars, first house, you're becoming impatient with everybody this month. Take it easy. But it's the end of February, I would say, that is the most important part of this month for Gemini Moon and Ascendant. Because your Lord Buddha Mercury is conjuncting with Saturn, and this is a seminal factor happening in the 9th house, future orientation of your chart. If you are a business person having foreign dealings, there could seem like insurmountable obstacles happening, but actually, these obstacles are opportunities. Look at them from a completely different angle. They can still be favorable. If you are traveling, although it's a good month, end of the month, you see delays, hiccups happening. And if you are a student, there's a major roadblock on the educational horizon happening at the end of the month, near to 25th of Feb. Very important when your Lord is with Saturn not to get into contentious situations with people in authority. 9th house, this could be boss, superior, teacher, lecturer, anybody, even father, some of you. Mongala first house makes you really contentious this month. Be really careful about this. New moon happening at the end of the month. It's a whole new vision for you. Students get a whole new vision of their educational prospects, and it's going to be favorable. All Geminis feel very, very optimistic about future things which you've been planning towards and felt uncertain about. Sun, moon conjuncting 9th house helps you to put them into proper perspective. Now, this is good. For the moon sign, Gemini people only, check the go-to days here and the more challenging days on this side. Take a note of these for your diary. For Cancer, Moon and Ascendant, an emotional month for you because Kendra house is empty, but everything's happening in the peripheral houses. Can you see? Except the full moon. Your Lord, a full moon on the 12th in Cancer sign this month gives you information about family affairs, domestic affairs that you have lacked for some time. It's cathartic, it's emotional, it can be challenging a little bit, but you needed to know all about this. Financially, it's quite a good month for you because Guru is going direct in your 11th house, showing new opportunities which you can capitalize on slowly, not immediately, but future prospects income-wise are becoming very good for Cancer, Moon and Ascendant. If you're in foreign lands or traveling this month, planning to go abroad or do any travel, basically it's going to be a little bit unsteady and uncertain. A few hiccups happening, Venus conjunct Rahu, unexpected factors around the beginning of the month. And again, the end of the month, you see, Mangala goes direct powerfully in your 12th house. So this shows that stress is actually increasing a little bit when you're on the move this month, but still, for people looking for romantic opportunities, wow, Venus conjunct Rahu in the 9th house shows people from foreign shores, different cultures, or in educational setting. There can be sudden, strong attractions happening if you are seeking romantic situation to develop. Some of you as well, though, have got to have a deep conversation with your spouse partner this month because it's all piling up in the 8th house. Mercury, Saturn conjunction at the end of the month, Sun, Moon, New Moon in the 8th house. Finances with your spouse, things which you own together. Are you settling them well? Are you on the same wavelength about financial affairs? You may not be. And business people, wow, this is a make or break time business wise or in connection to wills, legacies, investments, inheritance perhaps, stock market deals. Be really cautious around the end of the month. Mercury Saturn shows that it's not a risk-taking situation. You should take everything slowly indeed because Saturn's coming to the end now of your 8th house transit, particularly from the moon. You'll be glad to see Saturn get out of this Astam Shani period for certain, but he is actually bringing you more contention before he leaves the sign. Stay steady because this new moon shows you a very good solution to some health concern, to some financial impasse. The way is slowly opening at the end of February 25. If your moon is in Cancer, not Ascendant, Cancer moon only, these are the go-to favorable days for you and the more challenging days. Take a note of these carefully for your diary. For Leo moon, Leo ascendant, the best part of this month is the first 2 weeks, definitely. After that, the sun goes into your 7th house, sun your lord, so there's a lot of pressure coming onto you after the 14th. So during the first 2 weeks, interviews go superbly. You've got the edge over all competitors because Mangala is so superb in the 11th house. Income improves, work prospects improve. Jupiter going direct gives you information and hope in your career situation. So make the most of these powerful first 2 weeks. Get on top of any health issues as well. Things are definitely powering ahead up until the full moon, and that's when things get a little shaky. Full moon 12th is in the secretive part of your chart. You get a little bit of the jitters, unusual for Leo, but you have heard some information, perhaps secret information, that makes you feel a little bit uncertain. The key is to cooperate with others as the sun, your lord, as I say, goes into the 7th house. Aquarius, you must cooperate. Who with? Business partners, spouse, friends, everybody, colleagues. If you don't cooperate, you could put yourself into a weakened situation. From the 12th onwards, it's so important. But Rahu conjuncts Venus, of course, at the beginning of the month as well. This affects financial situations, investments, wills, legacies. Strange information comes your way, and you are absolutely unsure what to make of this, particularly business people. You're thinking, how do I deal with this unexpected development? What you do is listen to others. Once again, how do I know? Because Rahu is the lord of your 7th house. Take advice before you do any quick financial dealing at the beginning of the month. It's so important. The Mercury-Saturn conjunction happening at the end of the month is so important. Conversations with your spouse are very crucial now. You should get serious about listening to other people's concerns. Then you can find definite agreement, and the way forward becomes far more smoother in a difficult relationship situation than you had expected. So definitely at the end of the month, it's a relationship time when you have to listen to other people. You have to cooperate. Things can't go the way you would like them to completely. But if you do cooperate, you will feel happier long term. Some of you, though, Mercury-Saturn conjunction, because Saturn is 6th house lord, can show insurmountable obstacles between you and your spouse. Face these bravely. Mostly, though, it's a whole new beginning relationship-wise, where you finally decide that you will cooperate with your spouse on some insurmountable problem. And it's a huge relief when you do, creating a much happier atmosphere between you. On another note, it's a good time for foreign travel, for students as well, education, because 9th Lord of Fortune is 3 away, going powerfully forward after 24th in the 11th house of gain. So financially, it's powerful. Study-wise, students, it's good. Just cooperate in the intimate relationship area. That's the thing. Here's a daily tracker for Leo moon only, not Leo ascendant, just the moon. These are the go days for you, and these are the more challenging days on this side. Take a note of these for your diary. For Virgo, moon and ascendant, your month divides into 2 as well. At the beginning of the month, first 2 weeks, you're very stressed, uncertain about educational concerns, stress with your kids, feeling as though you just can't control anything. And then after the full moon, everything fits into place very powerfully indeed. So up until 12th, 13th, 14th, take it easy. Don't get into contentions, particularly students. Don't get overstressed. And then Sun goes into your 6th house. You get powerful health information, which will help you. Consultations help you. Jupiter goes direct in the house of advisors. Very good for financial advice, health advice, any advice. Listen to the boss, people with authority over you. They are favoring you definitely after the 4th, and good information is coming your way about career opportunity. If you have interviews, any competitive situation, it goes well after the middle of the month. Then you are on top of it and you get success. Of course, Rahu Venus is conjuncting your Lord, conjuncting with Venus in the 7th house. This is a seminal moment in your relationships, but it's a little bit stressful at the beginning of the month. In a way, it's almost like a dream come true situation. Venus-Jupiter exchange shows a deeper understanding happening with your spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, even traveling together or meeting somebody. Educational setting can be there. There's a deeper wisdom coming into relationship situations. It's extremely special, but the Rahu factor shows it's a little bit unexpected, happening in a completely different way. So sudden relationship decisions definitely coming during this February 25. For students, it's superb. Obviously, Jupiter in this Padavartanan with Venus, you get sudden understanding with the education course. As I say, you're powering ahead. Mangala 10th house is excellent for sorting out a stuck work situation, definitely. So the end of the month, you get so many powerful opportunities and things are moving ahead swiftly for Virgo, moon and ascendant. For the moon in Virgo only, check very carefully. These are the go-to dates for you when you can get things done much more easily. And these are the challenging dates. Take note of these for the month ahead for your diary. The Libra moon and ascendant, the pressure's continuing on you, but you still have Rahu in the 6th house. No matter what life throws at you, you're getting on top of it swiftly. So make the most of these final months of Rahu helping you, with Shani coming soon as well to the 6th house of your chart. So first thing happening, of course, we have to say Venus, your Lord, conjuncts Rahu on the 4th. At the same time, Guru goes direct in the 8th house and Venus-Jupiter exchange. There's a deep connection between these two transits. This will affect health. Primarily, you will get on top of some long-standing, worrying health situation. Many of you, good advice comes. Swift intervention happens and you feel a real relief about this at the beginning of February 25. There's unexpected happening, though, in the workplace. Maybe work colleagues are becoming a little bit agitated and it's all coming on to you. There's a lot of pressure, as I say, but then this sudden change works in your favor. Venus, Jupiter, Paravatanam shows unexpected benefits happen through changeable work situations. And this definitely comes to the fore at the full moon 12th. Near to the middle of the month, you get new information which helps you make a good career choice. A big aha moment happens, really about your potential, promotion perhaps, job situation, what you really want to commit to. You will know for sure around the middle of the month, 12th of February 25. And of course, this has a knock-on effect onto domestic situations. Some of you have made a big decision to move, change domestic situation. And this full moon just gets you going on that whole track. One area, though, that is going to cause you some hassles from the middle of the month, 14th onwards, is children's situation. So if you have kids, if you're thinking of starting a family, there's some big contention going on. Maybe difficulty with your spouse. Mars in the 9th house shows that maybe you and your spouse are not agreeing on some of these issues, maybe around children. One particular child having stress, and you are definitely called in to intervene. And this becomes very noticeable at the end of the month. And these same aspects here affect students. Students are feeling all of a sudden overwhelmed. End of February, there's so much to do. You think like, I just can't do this anymore. I need help. Actually, what you need is to give yourself space. Mercury, Saturn conjuncting 5th house shows serious education work has to be attended to. Mangala shows that you're going at it too quick. You need to slow down, calm down, and don't rush educational situation. This is very important. Finally, financially, things are going to unravel favorably to you because Jupiter goes direct 8th house. Business people, slowly but surely, profits coming to you from the 4th of February 25. Moon in Libra, not ascendant. Take note of these go-to days for you when things really get moving, and the more challenging days when you have to have some caution. Take a note of these for your diary. For Scorpio moon and Scorpio ascendant both, this month is a very powerful one for you. So many planets in the 4th house, 8th house, and this means that you are making tremendous transformations in your life. Sometimes, though, they are not easy. But your Lord Mangala aspects K2, your co-ruler, 11th house. You're having to make big changes because financial situation has become a big drain for you. Some of you have had loss of your income and you are living within means, but it's become difficult. Some of you give up a whole new business situation to start again from scratch. Friendship networks changing completely during this time gives you gives you feeling of insecurity. Friends may be leaving your life, and you're a very attached person. You don't like to make these big changes, but go with them. New people coming in as this Rahu Ketu axis changes in the coming month. So leaving past behind, starting afresh. What a transformative month for Scorpio moon and ascendant. But in romantic affairs, romantic connection, if you are seeking new romance or you have ongoing romantic situation, Rahu Venus is a seminal combination beginning of the month. Rahu Venus conjunct and Jupiter goes direct in the relationship house, and they have Padavatanan, and Venus is your marriage lord. Wow, anybody can see this could be a big change here happening in regard to who you commit to. Now you suddenly have to make a decision. Do you commit to this romance? Do you make it permanent or not? Decisions have to be made at the beginning of February 25. And if you are in permanent relationships, some of you, it's about children. Venus, Rahu conjunction, 5th house, Jupiter connection. Jupiter is children. There could be, some of you, sudden commitment to children or sudden problems with your kids happening, which just which just transform in a miraculous way, because Venus Jupiter is so favorable. Full moon happens 12th in the 9th house. Female Scorpios could have sudden pregnancy as well. So connection to kids, starting family, decisions about romantic relationships, they are all very favorably starred actually in this February 25. On the same aspect, Venus Rahu connecting to Guru affects students strongly. Students get a big break in their educational course. Full moon 12th highlights education future. Things become clearer to you. Changes which you make around educational course, February 25, can be extremely favorable, students. So don't be afraid to make these necessary changes. One thing to watch out for is speculative gain. Venus Rahu conjunct, you could have a sudden desire to take a risk. Now, I'm not saying that is not favorable, because Venus Jupiter have this Padavatanan, but take advice. Guru is in 7th house. Take advice. Don't just jump in. Scorpios are very canny about speculation though, so I don't suppose you'll be doing that. So take advice. Financial situation could improve. And at the end of the month, there's a big build-up in the 4th house of your chart. This is where you make those big transformations end of the month. Mercury, Saturn conjuncts 4th house. Watch for difficulty with your family, difficulty connecting around decisions domestically. And Sun Moon 28th, new moon shows you will finally sort out some real domestic hassle starting from the end of the month. Suddenly things are moving forward and you are leaving a very stuck situation behind. This is really favorable. If your moon is in Scorpio, check very carefully. These are the go dates for you when things go more smoothly, and the more challenging dates are on the for Sagittarius moon and ascendant. The first 2 weeks are a little bit hectic and stressful for you, culminating in the full moon on the 12th, which is giving you some secretive information but stressing you out about financial factors, making you feel a little bit insecure, some of you. But then it all changes so swiftly after 14th of Feb. The last 2 weeks are so much more favorable to you because Sun goes into the 3rd house where he's going to give you openings, financial help, financial gain, success in interviews, so many good opportunities. It's all happening on the domestic front because Venus conjuncts Rahu in your fourth house. You make a decision about domestic situations. Some of you suddenly, you just decide you can't stand it anymore. You're going to change the whole situation. This could be good actually because Venus has a Paravatanam with your Lord Guru who goes direct. So Venus-Jupiter exchanging is very fortunate for Sagittarius, Moon and Ascendant to make really important domestic decisions this month. In addition to that, Jupiter has given you many tasks, many domestic hassles, many jobs that you can't get on top of. But Guru going direct, exchanging with Venus, you sort out domestic situation in a very satisfactory way. Declutter, sort it, change things, change the whole domestic environment to actually make it more satisfactory, more beautiful even. Venus supports vehicles as well, buying a new vehicle perhaps, changing vehicle transportation situation for yourself. All of this is very favorable from the beginning of February 25. But one area of stress will be intimate personal relationships, spousal relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, because Mangala is in a difficult position, 7th house, aspecting your ascendant or moon. And he goes direct 24. But this could show resolution of arguments with your spouse after he goes direct. You've been trying to sort things out, never getting agreement, not getting harmony easily. Things get better. Listen to your spouse. Venus, 4th house definitely helps. And Mangala, 7th house shows spouse has got good ideas, good energy for you. Pick up on it. Don't get yourself into negativity here. Don't forget, after the middle of the month, Sun in the 3rd house helps communication. So communicate with your spouse, get rid of all the negative contention, and things become much smoother for you. If your moon is in Sagittarius only, check the go dates, which are good for you, getting on with things more smoothly, and the more challenging dates on this side. Take a note of these for your diary. For Capricorn, Moon and Ascendant, it's a very powerful time for you because you've got so many planets helping you make good decisions during this time. Rahu conjuncts Venus on the 4th when Jupiter turns direct, 5th house. This is very good for your communication with important people. Definitely good for students. Finally, things resolve and education goes on full steam ahead. So this month, students get on top of things. You're going to have fantastic learning. This is brilliant for interview connections, for new job, for new income coming your way. Rahu, Venus supports interview success. Mangala, 6th house, gives you the power over all competition. You can't lose. If you need the job, if you need the opening, it is there for you. Don't hold back. And it's very good for your family relationships at the beginning of the month, particularly. Venus, Jupiter having a Paravatanam shows better understanding with your siblings, with your kids. You see, full moon happens on the 12th in your 7th house. Difficulty with your spouse, partner, then emotional conversations makes you a little bit agitated. Be careful. Listen to others. Take on board their point of view. This is really good. Business people get clarity about difficult business situation as well on this full moon, 12th of February. And then the last 2 weeks, so many planets in the 2nd house of your chart put so much pressure on your financial security situation. But Capricorns deal well with this. Some of you make a really good investment during this time, the end of the month, or you clamp down on your spending, or you do something which completely turns around financial situation. Mercury conjunct your Lord shows that you have very good ideas what you have to do. Business people particularly make very good business decisions at this Mercury-Saturn conjunction. But family-wise, Mercury-Saturn can show difficult communication with family members. They don't understand what you're doing, why you are doing things the way you are, and misunderstandings, difficulty within family circle could occur at the end of February 25. On a completely different note, the new moon at the end of the month in your second house shows a whole new diet starting, a whole new dietary regime. Mercury, Saturn, be careful what you're eating around 25th. Don't rush it, take it slow, or you could have disturbed digestion, this sort of thing. But generally, though, starting a whole new dietary situation for yourself with advice, of course, could be extremely good for many Capricorn, Moon, and Ascendant at the end of the month. For Capricorn moon sign only, these are the go days for you when things go much more smoothly, and the more challenging dates are shown on this side. Take a note of these carefully for your diary. For Aquarius, Moon and Ascendant, this month, particularly the last 2 weeks of this month, are one of the most decisive times you've had for some time. How do we know? Because, as you can see, so many grahas will be in the Kendra box of your chart. Decisive decisions are going to be made. These are not something new, however, but at the beginning of the month you are still confused. As the sun continues, 12th house, it's a spiritual time, good time for meditation, renewal. Don't make big decisions at the beginning of the month because things are swiftly changing after the 12th of February. The full moon happens in your 6th house. You get to grips with difficult health situations, stresses, workplace hassles suddenly become clarified for you. This is very favorable. The best thing to happen at the beginning of the month is slowly you are getting on top of domestic situation. You may be moving. Some of you plan to relocate, plan to change. Domestic situation completely gets a really big boost from the 4th onwards because Venus conjuncts Rahu 2nd house but has an exchange with Guru, very favorably placed in the 4th house of your chart. So plans to move, property deals, landed interest, all of them take off spectacularly, slowly perhaps, but with a sudden boost from the 4th of February 25. And from the middle of the month, your confidence comes back. Sun goes into your sign from 14th. You get listened to, you get noticed, you can get interview success, some of you, but it's more about who you are, what you are aiming for in life. Clarity comes to your purpose actually this month, Aquarius, Moon and Ascendant, particularly in the last 2 weeks. A big boost financially comes as well, some of you, because Venus Rahu is your Lord in the 2nd house, shows surprising financial boost. Business people, this is really favorable. And definitely Mangala going direct 5th house helps students make the right choices on their course. Suddenly you are understanding everything. Jupiter 4th house is a very good factor for education generally. So it's a super month for students to make enormous progress on their course. You're becoming very much self-determined, very much assured of yourself at the end of the month, but it still could cause tension in intimate relationship because so much pressure, 1st house, you're putting a little bit of pressure onto spouse, even becoming a little bit detached, not listening to your spouse partner. Take them on board. Don't make any big decisions without consulting them. But it's a powerful new beginning in your whole life direction. Business people make enormously long-range decisions at the end of the month. Mercury Saturn is a business combination happening in your sign. You will make good choices, so don't be afraid to turn it all around. Start from scratch. Business people, it's a brand new beginning at the end of February 25. For Aquarius moon people only, not ascendant, note these are the go days for you when things go much smoother for you, and the more challenging dates are shown on this side. Take a note of them for your diary. For Pisces, moon and ascendant, if there's anything you want to accomplish, anything you want to get on top of in your life, my advice is try to accomplish it before the 14th of February, because the first 2 weeks are far more easier for you in this February 25. Why is this? Because the new moon occurred end of Jan in your 11th house. You know what you have to accomplish. You know what you need to do. Workplace stress is lessening for you as you complete these tasks. So interview situations, new job, increase income, sorting out financial obligations, everything. Get it sorted in the first 2 weeks for the best success. Full moon happens in your 5th house, and this is as well favorable for dealing with children and for educational factors. Clarity comes, and a deep feeling of inner wisdom even can be there. Full moon 5th house is a very revealing situation as well. Students get knowledge about the course, which puts their mind at ease. So as I say, first 2 weeks, full steam ahead. Another factor, of course, is that Venus and Rahu conjunct in the 1st house. As Rahu comes to the end of his transit in Pisces, Venus with your Lord Jupiter form a Parivartanan yoga, an exchange yoga. This is really favorable. This gives you good communication with your siblings, with your neighbors, with everybody. You are getting on fine. You are getting deeper understanding and clarity. This is really favorable. And Venus Rahu, 1st house, shows that you are becoming attractive to other people. You are perhaps changing how you look, maybe superficial, but this is something which you need to do. Pay attention to your dress, to your appearance, and you will make a very good impression on other people, significant other people, particularly first 2 weeks. Mars is still powerfully situated, Kendra house, 4th house, though, putting pressure to complete domestic issues, landed interests. There's so much on your plate, it's been overwhelming you. Mangala's retrograde phase, though, helps you to sort them out powerfully. Things which you've left undone, decluttering, changing things in the home, moving home, occasionally buying property, selling property. Many delays go away after Mangala turns direct. So get them sorted before, though. First 2 weeks gives you the power to tie up loose ends, ready for big domestic changes after the 24th of Feb. Because the last 2 weeks has a very spiritual factor for you. You are thinking about your deep ideals, spiritual beliefs. It's actually good for students, though. Research, cut yourself off, do some fantastic study. At the end of the month, new moon, 28th, supports it. But for everybody else, you're becoming a little bit more introverted, thinking about where you are going in life. But it's a spiritual renewal phase. So watch your health the last 2 weeks. You're becoming a little bit stressed and you need time to yourself. Time for contemplation. You will get on top of these factors. Business people, it's an important moment because Mercury, 7th Lord, business Lord for you, conjunct Saturn in the 12th house. There could be expenses, losses happening. Bear them because soon things are swiftly changing as the big grahas move in the spring. So don't make big, really long-term business decisions at the end of the month if you can avoid it. For Pisces moon sign only, these are the go days for you during the month. Things much more smoothly here and things more challenging on these dates. Take a note of all these dates for your diary to plan ahead. Check out the predictions for 2025 for all the signs. They're on your screen right now. If you're new to my channel, of course, sub below. Great to have you on board. Goodbye for now, and God bless everyone.